In general, I'm a really big fan of Sony's headphones. The 1000XM3s are my favorite and most recommended pair of ANC headphones. The XB900N are a great pair of mid-tier ANC headphones, and both the XB700 and WH-CH700N are great budget options, especially when they're on sale. And during this holiday season, the new WH-CH510s also went on sale. But I don't think that you should run out and get these headphones, especially if you plan on using them on a regular basis. Now, the WH-CH510s have a retail price of $60, but during this holiday season, they went on sale for $40. And it's safe to assume that these headphones will periodically go on sale for $40 after the holiday season as well. That's the case with both the XB700s and WH-700Ns, which have a retail price of $130 and $200 respectively, but they routinely go on sale for $78 and $88. So I'm just going to flat out say it, if you're looking into getting an affordable pair of Sony headphones, you should at least go with the XB700s. I think that they're the better long-term investment here. The WH-CH510s are a very flimsy pair of headphones. They're entirely made out of plastic and they have zero padding underneath their headband. But surprisingly, these headphones are big head approved. I actually only have to extend their headband by 2 clicks. But like I said, these headphones do feel very flimsy. I constantly worry about them snapping when I'm putting them on or taking them off, or I just worry about them getting crushed in my backpack. Whereas the XB700s, on the other hand, have the same form factor as the WH-CH510s, but they feel much more rugged, they're better built, they have a stainless steel headband, and there's actually a good amount of padding underneath their headband. I would actually feel comfortable using the XB700s as a pair of gym headphones because they can take a beating, and if you get them on sale for $78, you don't feel that bad going hard on these headphones. Now, if you do decide to spend the extra $10 and go with the WH-700Ns, the main hardware difference here is that these are a pair of over-ear headphones, whereas these other two headphones are on-ear headphones. But since both the XB700s and WH-CH510s have very little clamping force, and since their padding is very soft, both of these headphones are fairly comfortable for on-ear headphones in general. Now, when it comes to included accessories, the WH-CH510s come included with a single USB-C cable, and that's it. They don't come included with an audio cable because they don't have an audio jack, and they also don't come included with a carrying pouch. Now, both the XB700 and WH-CH700Ns also don't come included with carrying pouches, but they do come included with audio cables because they do have audio jacks, something that you might want to take into consideration depending on your setup or needs. But at the very least, the WH-CH510s do charge via a USB-C port, so you can charge your phone and headphones with the same cable, just like with the XB700s. Now, regarding Bluetooth connectivity, these headphones are rocking Bluetooth 5.0, and they actually have zero latency across the board when watching movies on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or Android device, which is good. But unfortunately, even though these headphones are using Bluetooth 5.0, they can still only be connected to one device at a time. Now, I do know that these are a pair of budget headphones, but personally this does have me a little concerned for the upcoming Sony 1000XM4s, which are probably going to be released in the spring of 2020. I think it's pretty obvious that the Sony 1000XM4s are going to be using Bluetooth 5.0, but I'm concerned that they're still only going to be able to connect to one device at a time, which is a pretty big bummer because almost everybody wants simultaneous multi-device connectivity on the Sony 1000XM3s and especially on the Sony 1000XM4s. Now, when it comes to listening to music with these headphones, they absolutely get the job done for $40. They have a good amount of bass to them, so they're fun to listen to. The highs don't peak, and distortion surprisingly isn't an issue with these headphones when used at higher volumes. But these headphones do have a bass-heavy sound signature to help hide the fact that instrument separation isn't all that strong on these headphones. But the mids and vocals aren't drowned out or anything. So overall, these headphones do get the job done. But just keep in mind, these headphones don't connect to Sony's headphone app, so you can't directly change their EQ. But like I mentioned earlier, If you are planning on getting a pair of Sony headphones, you should at the very least go with the XB700s. With the XB700s, you can connect to Sony's app and crank up the bass on these headphones and get them to significantly rattle your head, which is a great feature for bass heads, and it does get you amped up at the gym. Or if you do decide to spend the extra $10 and get the WH-CH700Ns, then you have full customization over their EQ, so you can make them sound however you want. So what I'm saying is that the WH-CH510s get the job done. But if you spend a little extra money, you're not just getting significantly better build quality, but you're also getting some control over how your music sounds as well. But finally, here's the microphone test. And I can't help but feel that it sounds a little shallow. It's definitely still usable, but it doesn't sound great. Whereas the microphone on the XB700 sounds a little richer, especially in the mids. But overall, I do think that both of these budget-friendly headphones have better sounding microphones than what's found on the Sony 1000 XM3s. But overall, the Sony WH-CH510s does meet all of the basic criteria for headphones in 2020, especially for $40. They don't sound half bad and distortion isn't a problem. They fit okay, latency isn't an issue, so you can use these headphones to watch videos on your phone, and they have USB-C charging, which is currently rare at this price point. But personally, I can't recommend that you get these headphones because of their very flimsy build quality. I mean, I can't blame them because they retail for $60, and at $40 these headphones are a steal. But for me, build quality is very important because it lends itself to longevity. Personally, I highly recommend you go with at least the Sony XB700 when they're on sale for $78, because I do think they are the better long-term investment because of their far better build quality. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. If you want to pick any of the products up mentioned in this video, those will be linked in the description down below, and you can also support the channel by checking out the merch store. But other than that, I'll catch you next time.